I'm Sally Susman, Chief Corporate Affairs Officer at Pfizer.
Jen Wong, COO of Reddit.
Hi, my name is Lara Mendonça. I'm the head of product design at Bumble.
My name is Alicia Garza, and I am the principal at the Black Futures Lab and the Black to the Future Action Fund. I'm also a co-creator of Black Lives Matter Global Network.
When Pfizer began our journey to bring forward a vaccine, our CEO called it making the impossible possible. I think the same could be said about the journey that we as queer leaders have been on over the last 30 years. If at the time I came out in the early 80s, you would have told me about the huge number of civil rights advances that we've had, marriage, the ability to be open, to raise families, I would have thought that that was impossible. And as a community, we should take real pride and joy in all of the impossible things we've made possible.
I think over the last year, from a Reddit standpoint, we saw a lot of vibrancy. People were coming for community and to connect with other people. And we saw that more and more, not only based on interest, but also based on identity groups.
An identity is not one thing that you are. It's the many things that you can be. The conversations are changing and are becoming more nuanced and more on the right direction now. Tech had to really quickly catch up and start answering some hard questions around how accessible you are and how inclusive you are to queer people in your product. That was certainly true for Bumble.
What's been really positive is it's been a year of education on the diversity and inclusion front, and I actually think the LGBTQ community has benefited from the real openness and allyship that has just emerged over the last year. I think, if anything, there's almost a need for queer-only spaces and queer spaces with allyship, because the allyship has grown so much and is so active, actually.
I think it's great that queerness became so important in this digital sphere. So even for people who are not queer, products that are inclusive to queer people became important.
Everybody deserves to live a full and dignified life. I think it's important that there are more conversations happening about equity, about inclusion, about diversity. But I actually think that the conversation we need to be having as a queer person of color is a conversation about justice and accountability. What we have to do in our companies, what we have to do in our organizations, is we have to redistribute power. And in redistributing power, what we are ultimately saying is that we are courageous enough to reshape ourselves in such a way where nobody gets left behind, and where at the center of all of it is making sure that everyone gets to live with dignity, everyone gets to be in a workplace that is fair and that is just, and that everybody has a chance to succeed. That I am hopeful for. I'm seeing not even just seeds of that, I'm seeing sprouts. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of those sprouts grow and to bear fruit.